Hello and welcome to Rupee Rakshak News of 1st September 2023. I'm your host Raghu Rao. Very good to see you again. This week we are going to bring you some exciting ways to invest your money and some very interesting news and tips to grow your money. Rupee Rakshak News is coming to you from Finmo, a SEBI registered financial advisor. What that means is we don't give you information and say it is just for education purpose. Instead, this is authentic, unbiased information that you can use for your investments as an investor. Let us look at what is happening in the world around us this week. Global updates for this week. Our expert, Mr. Tyagarajan, joins us from Chennai to discuss the global market updates this week. Welcome, Mr. Tyagarajan. So please tell us what is happening in the world markets this week and where are the world markets headed from here?
Last week, we singled out the meetings of heads of central banks at Jackson Hole and Chinese economic weakness as the primary drivers for the financial markets. This week, decelerating global economy with pain points both in China and Europe and the probably slowing US economy marked the backdrop. Although you can't expect the kind of fiscal and monetary stimulus like past episodes, there is a chance that the central banks in US and Europe might refrain from hiking further and would continue to stay with higher for longer narrative. China has already rolled out a lot of policy measures and incremental news on that front is less likely. So you have a global economy with a decelerating growth and elevated rate with no scope for fiscal and monetary help on the way. This will define the backdrop for about, let's say, another 6 months. Financial stress in Europe is actually came to the fore with the kind of Euro PMIs. Can you believe European PMI was much weaker than expected, showing renewed signs of slowing. The German services PMI numbers stood out with a massive 5 points index decline, which has only happened 3 times in the past, with latest being March 2020 during the COVID-19 lockdown. So you can understand the kind of gravity that marks the Euro economy right now. Now, come to think of the economic resilience in this way, softness in the consumer confidence and surprising jolt drop may offer some reassurance to Fed leaders that inflationary pressures are receding. But several key economic data loom. The Personal Consumption Expenditure Price Index, PCE, which is the Fed's preferred inflation measure, is due tomorrow. And then comes Friday's job reports, where the gradual cooling in employment growth has likely continued. We are looking for 160K plus. The Fed pays close attention to the development in average hourly earnings, and another print at 0.04% month on month above would likely be a hawkish signal for the market. Broadly speaking, markets are now cheered by a weaker data. One strong print could change the whole backdrop. So watch payrolls on Friday and PCE on Thursday.
Mr. Tyagarajan, what is the impact of the global markets on the Indian investors?
Now coming to domestic equity markets, still would continue to see range markets in the shrinking range, 19,250, 19,550 kind of a range. However, the regime change in global monetary policy impulse means higher risk and volatility for equity investors as companies struggle to adapt. By actively focusing on industry leaders through a stewardship lens, we think investors may not only increase the resilience of their portfolio, but also the potential for sustainable long-term returns across the cycle. We think the current environment demands even closer scrutiny of balance sheets. Companies with healthy cash reserves and low debt levels have a greater ability to absorb increased borrowing costs without the need to resort to gearing, and will also have the financial firepower to take advantage of the opportunities that come with dislocation. Having access to stable funding streams is also a structural advantage in an era of diminishing credit and higher rates. So basically a choppy market that experiences periodic downturns.
That's the global market updates for you this week. If you like our views and news, subscribe to Rupee Rakshak News channel on YouTube. Thank you for watching Rupee Rakshak News.